Hello, for today's literacy lesson, we are going to explore BadgerLink. On your iPad, you will find this icon and you will open the app of BadgerLink. It will take you to the home page where it says BadgerLink, Wisconsin's online library. If you're wondering what BadgerLink really is, there is an introductory video that we're not going to do together at this time. However, I do recommend you view it on your own, as BadgerLink is an amazing resource with hundreds of thousands of articles and things to read and research. All right, we're going to get started. There's a variety of ways to search in BadgerLink. You can browse by format, and you can see books, encyclopedias, newspapers, scholarly journals. You can browse by subject, a wide variety of subjects. You can narrow down your search by the audience. However, today we're going to start in the generalized search. So we are going to go to where it says all resources. I can see A to Z list of resources. Today, we're specifically going to go to something called Novelist. So we're going to choose the N. I don't see it yet, so I'm going to scroll down past the newspaper source, newswires, to Novelist. I'm going to choose Novelist K8 since we are looking at middle school resources. And that takes you to the home page of Novelist. Now, Novelist is not a place to check out books. It's a place to get book recommendations. So in normal times, readers would come into the library and ask their middle school librarian what they would recommend reading next. Well, it's good that we have another resource that we can use from anywhere. So Novelist has many ways to recommend books. The first thing you see on the left-hand side are recommended reading lists. Many different reading lists compiled by the BadgerLink librarians. This has caught my eye. Reading during the pandemic. They actually have compiled lists of reading during the pandemic. I think I'd like to get a laugh out loud book. I could use some laughs at this point in the pandemic. Let's see what happens when I choose Laugh Out Loud Reads. I come up with some fun titles. And many of these do look familiar from our middle school library. So when I see something that I might be interested in, I can click on it and see what it says. Olga and the Smelly Thing from Nowhere. Well, I see that it's fiction. I see that it tells me it's funny and offbeat. The illustrations are cartoony. I like that. There's a description of the book. There's also some other things that are read-alikes. I think this is one of the best features of Novelist K8 is that it tells me read-alikes, because this is what your librarian would do. Your librarian would say, well, I know that you liked Olga. Maybe you should try The 14th Goldfish. Maybe you should try House of Robots. So this does take the place of your librarian for doing recommendations. All right, so that was a specific list. I'm going to go back to the home page and see some other ways that I can search. I've got some ways to search that look kind of like genres, right? We know that word from the library, genre, the type of book. It looks like I can choose scary and atmospheric, intricately plotted and attention-grabbing, character-driven and sad. You know what? I'm going to stick with the funny. So legendary laugh out louds. So here are some books that are guaranteed to make you laugh. All right. There are yet more ways to search in Novelist. There's something called the appeal mixer. And this is when your librarian would say, well, what was it about that book that you liked? And you might say, well, I really liked the illustrations. What did you like about the illustrations? Well, I liked that they were detailed illustrations. So let's find some books that have detailed illustrations. Ooh, Harry Potter, Black Panther, Legend of Zelda. Lots of books that have detailed illustrations. And we can change this appeal mixer. Let's see, what did I really like about a book? I like the character. What kind of character do I like? I like characters that are actually, they're really believable. I want characters that are believable. So I'm going to find titles with believable characters. And it gives me Wimpy Kid, but actually it gives me 775 titles with believable characters. Lots and lots of titles. Save Me a Seat. I know my middle school library has that one. Now remember, readers, this is not a source to get books. This is a source to get book recommendations. So the way you would use this is you would narrow down your choices from the thousands of books that are out there, and you would write down your choices, and then you could go to your school library catalog in Destiny and search for the book and put it on hold. Remember that read alike column on the right, which shows us things that are like a book. So if in fact Miss Bixby's Last Day was the book that I just loved, and I read that last year and I really loved it, I'll just put in Miss Bixby's Last Day and it will tell me things that are like it, that I might like based on my last book. Funny books. All right, so that gives you a taste of Novelist. It is something that is fun to explore. And remember that you are not requesting books directly from this site. You are getting recommendations so that you can get the books from your school library, either Savannah Oaks or Badger Ridge. All right, I invite you to explore all of Badgerlink, perhaps, but especially Novelist K8 to find books that you want to request. And as always, if you have any questions, you're going to email your middle school librarian. Thank you and happy reading.